organized the first Tea Party in Laguna Beach, California, I faced terrifying news that I could have breast cancer. What I didn't realize at that terrifying moment was that my private health care plan would save me. Our family had a plan known as Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that provided me with diagnostic mammograms, which includes an ultrasound. And so in that spring day, when my surgeon oncologist asked me, "Do you want to hear the good news or the bad news?" all I heard her say was early breast cancer, non-invasive, stage 0. And because I had the freedom to select my health care plan, I was going to be spared my life and at the very least months of chemotherapy and radiation. But what if I had a government health care plan? At the end of 2009, the group that dictates what your health care was going to be, ladies and men, said women at the age of 50 could get yearly mammograms every other year. Any woman under 40 that's diagnosed with breast cancer can be lethal. And the older you get, the greater the chances are for breast cancer. Well, this sounds like rationing. Doesn't it sound like rationing to you? And that's exactly what Bernadine Healy said. She is the former professor at Johns Hopkins University, the first woman to be head of the National Institute of Health. She said it's rationing, and she told the press. And at that time, I went to Susan G. Komen in Southern California, and I demanded that they pronounce Obamacare unfit for American women. And I actually said at that particular time, I said, there's something that our little group says, and that is, Uncle Sam, keep your mitts off our tits. But why would the task force do this? It's simple, ladies. First of all, they're sparing you from mental distress in case you have a false positive. But according to the Huffington Post of 3 months ago, they're going to rework the language so you better understand it. You don't understand what they're trying to do for you. And secondly, the cost of covering all women 40 and over and the baby boomers far outweighs the cost of saving those women's lives that might die of breast cancer. But to be fair, Congress did pass and include in Obamacare a provision for mammograms starting at age 40 for yearly mammograms. But let me tell you, ladies, it won't be enough, because if I didn't have an ultrasound which found the breast cancer, I could be a later stage breast cancer. You'll need diagnostic. There's other screenings. And at the same time, Congress, who loves, and the president, who loves this health care plan for us, decided, no, they didn't think they wanted it. They'd go ahead and have a PPO. And so in the spring and early summer of 2009, with the help of my doctors, I decided I'd have a bilateral mastectomy because Obamacare was breathing down my neck. And not only that, but I was facing Medicare, which meant $500 billion was going to be taken out of the Medicare trust fund, and there would be a panel of 15 sitting around some table here in Washington deciding if Linda could have surgery to cure her breast cancer or a pill, because that's what my surgeon oncologist said. I would only be offered a pill with government health care. I decided with my doctors on the bilateral mastectomy, and in early summer of 2009, as I was being, this is very emotional, as I was being wheeled down the hall from the recovery room, my husband reported to me later. I cried out, "Red, white, and blue. red,